From Barcelona to Le Castellet, welcome everyone to the second round of the Slipstream Esports Championship. We find ourselves with a season which started off in some style last time out, and we look forward to continuing that. Not only for just one race this week, but a double header that is going to be getting underway. We've got one race coming your way today, and then one coming your way tomorrow. Tomorrow's race will not be on broadcast, but we will definitely update you with everything that happens next time out at Sandvor. Delighted to have you with us for another race for what should hopefully be a really exciting contest. We're going to of course have a qualifying followed by a race, and the drivers have been having a practice and they would have also been getting a briefing, just being told about all of the critical information. Really important for the drivers to be aware about what to expect and anything that is being set by the organization heading into an event. Now, we've had, of course, a week since we went racing for round number 1. And now you are taking a look at qualifying in round number 2. So this is the Mistral Straight then. As you go flat to the floor. And of course a long run down to Scene Corner. We're getting ready to flick the car in. And we're doing that with Ishraq Rahman at the moment. So this is the start of your qualifying session. We had a qualifying last time out that looked and appeared decently close. Will we be getting the same thing once again? Well, the time to find out is very much now. We will then straight after be finding ourselves with a race. A long contest. So, let us know your thoughts in the live chat on your opinions heading into this event. Because, of course, it's not heading into an unknown like it was 1 week ago. We've had a contest, and it is all eyes now on seeing what will take place. So, you're taking a look at Hussein at the moment, currently running in second position. But of course, that is just on a leaderboard with no times. So that is quite useless information at the moment, but just so you guys can identify him on the leaderboard that you are currently viewing at the moment in time. But yes, the driver that we saw last time out. Plenty of the names that we are seeing right now, we did also have in Barcelona, and we will run you through all of that very shortly. For the moment, let's get some lap times on the board. The first one is Abdullah Ayaz, a 1 minute 55.267 to go all the way to the front of the field. As Sultan now hits the front of the field, Ali Arman P3 at the moment in time. As we take a look, watching from the rear view cam of Hussein, and we now jump on board. New camera angle for you that we didn't actually have last time out, but it should allow us to be able to bring you more views of the racing. As we now cut over to the usual and cut over to the normal camera, which awaits the drivers into Scene Corner. I was going to say good speed carried, but then slightly in deep and just about having to very quickly very quickly rejoin the road. Just letting you enjoy the car sounds as we make our way now through these final few corners. Here is the number 72 of Zayan Intaz through turn number 5 and turn number 6. That's what they are making their way through now as you get ready to stand on the power. Mistral straight begins, and of course there's no chicane which separates the beginning of the Mistral straight and, well, what usually would be the end with the chicane. You have a run all the way down until Scene. So you'd actually typically be on the left or the right hand side in terms of driver view, left view from where we were looking at it with our camera. But yes, you'd usually have a scenario where that would probably be the positioning that they go for. Not in this case, because the next corner that you're focusing on is not a left hand side corner from a driver's point of view, it's a right hand side corner, and it's a long sweeping corner. You need to be able to get the whole speed carried, the best speed carried as possible, and they make their way through the chicane. Okay, we've momentarily briefly brought up and mentioned the opening round of the season that we had at Barcelona, and these were the results. This was for the pro class and the overall race, and an overall race which was won by Bin Sultan. Omar was second, and Abir Ahmad was in third position, and then it was Hussein in fourth, Abdullah Ayaz fifth, and then Ishraq Rahman P6, and then Intaz, Shadman Sabiq in 8th, and then we had Shafrin Quays in 9th. Now you can see the points, of course, basically just being the race results because of only one race that we've had this season. Let's turn it over to the Pro-Am class, and it was Zubayr Zaman who was the driver who got the 25 points and finds himself with a 7-point advantage to Sayam Rahman, who is second. And then we find ourselves with Nasser third, Duran fourth, and then Yasser, Mahir Ahmad, and then Ali Arman, Nabi Nirad, and Ashfika Rahman, who is ninth. Those are the 9 drivers then who make up the Pro-Am class. And then we've only got one more page for you to go, and 4 drivers in the usual Am class, with Junaid in first, Mabab in second, and then Rahman in third, and Hussein in fourth, with 0 points to his name. Back to live pictures we take you now. And the great thing about, of course, having all of these different classes and everyone basically kind of being separated, of course you always want to find yourself at the top in the overall race, but with the classes it does mean that, you know, you've kind of got a scenario and you've kind of got a situation where you are going to get something that will go down to the final race, even if it is the same driver on top of the front. It is very, very easy to see. It is very easy to see the same driver. It is very easy to see the same drivers at the front, but a battle between them. Whether that is the overall class, which we would love it for it to go in the pro class all the way to the top. If it doesn't, you've got 2 other classes waiting there, hoping to produce us with a championship battle. And it all happened very, very quickly indeed. Because, I mean, if you really, really think about it, there's 6 races in total. 2 are split into, well, 2 races are just integrated into a weekend like this, where we've got a double header. So tomorrow we'll go racing at Paul Ricard again, and then the final round at Spa, that'll be held behind closed doors too. We won't actually have a broadcast for it, but you will have one race at Spa that isn't broadcasted, and the final season finale will. So we'll be able to crown a champion, hopefully, in front of your very own eyes. And crown a tournament winner. So, as you see, Abir Ahmad returning back to the pit lane. I just quickly like to remind you of all of the basics. It is a full round championship. You've got 6 races though in total, as I mentioned, with 2 being integrated into a weekend. You've got GT3 machinery, and elite level of competition is what you should expect to see coming into every single one of these rounds. Lots of drivers here to entertain you from start to finish in this tournament, which is organised by Auto Gaming Rebels. And Auto Gaming Rebels, of course, who have had Bangladeshi sim races, and even including some names from the FIA Motorsport Games too. So it is great to have them on board. And then, of course, this broadcast brought to you by Zenetic Esports 2. And it is, at the end of the day, a team effort. Oh my word. Ishraq Rahman having to take avoiding action and very nearly losing the car in the process as he makes his way by. Now, we've gone through some of our sponsors and partners here at Slipstream Esports. I'd also like to quickly say a huge welcome to our partners that will be delivering the trophies. I will be bringing those to the hands of the drivers this season. Vanquished Paradox Gaming are going to be providing the trophies, and it is great to have them on board as a partner as well. Okay, so over the last few moments, we've had some lap times come in on the board. Shadman Sadiq P1, Tamjid bin Sultan P2, and then it is Hussein in 3rd position. Now, of course, we have to remember last time out, you had a great fight all the way until the end for the podium position. We went all the way until the final sector of the race, to a point where we couldn't even see our first ever winner across the line. But yes, hopefully we'll be able to do that today. But yes, it was a great fight. That went all the way until the end. Here is Mabub then, slowest lap time on the board so far. Omar is still in the pit lane. He was, of course, the driver who was second last time out, but a new quickest time at the front. Sultan, he won a 1 minute 54.447. And you now look at the driver who has gone quickest of all in Sector 1 and Sector 3. Bit of work to do in the second sector, you can see from the data that we've got on what was his 4th lap that he managed. Okay, let's listen in to Ayaz then as he makes his way through. Number 52. As he will send it over the line. And blasts down towards the opening turn of the circuit. Not the easiest on the brakes. You can see he had to kind of do a bit of a correction and then super deep. And that'll be it of that lap time. But it is Ayaz, by the way, in 2nd place. Here is Hussein then. Let's try and continue a lap around La Castellet, shall we? This time with the driver in P4. We'll see whether we can get all the way around, getting up to some traffic, which is never ideal. And we were very close to contact in qualifying in Barcelona last time out. Let's hope we can avoid it here today. But that was definitely a moment where it was close for comfort. Here is Sombit Duran, and he is the 5th quickest driver on our timing board. Make that the 6th quickest driver. I think that is Zayan Intaz, who has just come over the line and gone into 4th. Still following Duran though as he navigates his way and gets ready to climb up all the way through 6, through 7, and the Mistral straight that comes up. And now it is flat to the floor. All the way down towards the braking zone. Listen to the sounds. Great noise as he throws the car in. And actually, I'll let you continue listening as we jump on board. I think a perfect opportunity to hear the engine sounds through this final sector. Cut away from the onboard. It was great to see a few moments of the sound of this GT3 machinery. Duran comes over the line in his Ferrari and stays P6. Let's try find someone else who can play a factor. 3 minutes to go on the clock. Foot flat down to the floor. Get ready to bring it all the way up. And through these are now the important moments of this session as Ashfika Rahman finds themselves off the road and on a lap which was all over the place. Okay, let's see who can try and find a step forward. That'll be the aim. I can see Omar is out there on the circuit. He was, of course, the driver who finished second in qualifying and in the race, I should say, rather, last time up. But he was, of course, within the top 3 running anyway in that qualifying too. But Omar, I guess, going for a bit of a one shot. He's come out. He's been in the pit lane all the way through. He's now decided to come out. And what is he going to do? I wonder. I don't see any sector times coming on the board yet for him. So I assume this is his out lap and then he's going to push on to the push lap, believe it or not. That's how it works. But yes, he's got a minute just over that to go. So, last time out in Barcelona, it was a case of let's see who's going to improve at the end on the lap times they've already set. We didn't really get anything at the front. We did get some minor changes elsewhere. It's a complete different qualifying focus now. It is one of the stars, which I know he didn't end up winning the race, but he was one of the stars and was one of the underlining quickest drivers. Didn't get a chance to go for the win. Didn't get a chance to go wheel to wheel and fight for it. Bar the 3 wide that we had on the opening lap. But he showed his pace all the way through Barcelona. And as he comes over the line, it was a flying lap. And it's the third quickest lap on the board. We weren't getting the data from the timing sectors at the time. We had to wait until the whole lap was completed until we could receive that. But he did find himself setting the third quickest time. Absolutely brilliant. That's the underlining pace that he showed. Let's focus on Shadman Sadiq, the driver who is second. The driver who is only just about under a tenth behind Sultan, but he's got a chance to respond. The driver in third, fourth, fifth and sixth, and critically, our pole sitter cannot better their lap times. Shadman Sabit can. He's right now second. He is just under a tenth away. Can he send it all through these final corners to secure himself pole position? Who's it going to be across the line as we stand on the power? And Shadman Sabit gets there with an absolutely fantastic lap to get into the 1 minute 54.3s. And we asked the question, who would it be? It's Shadman Sabik on pole position here for round number 2 of the season. The first race of this double header, and he'll be the driver who will lead us away. He's on pole, unless anyone else in your picture at the moment has got, somehow, the most magical car and lap of their life. But it should be Shadman Sabik at the front. He's beaten Sultan P2, Omar P3. As they make their way by. Ali Arman competing the lap. What is he going to be able to produce? Currently 10th overall on your timing board. Only has a few more hundreds to find to go to 9th. And he does go to 9th indeed. Our prediction was correct. Exactly where we estimated he could be. He is. And that's one position. But every position does matter. So, let's take you through this circuit that we have here in Paul Ricard in France. It starts at turn number 1. Go through 2, 3, 4, and then a long Mistral straight which covers the entire distance that our circuit is. In terms of lengthwise, in a straight, you get to Scene Corner. And then the final few corners, it's a tight end to the lap which really kind of bunches the pack up, and then it's a drag out up towards the line, and that is a lap here at Paul Ricard. And now, as we wait, we will basically just stare down at these incredible pictures of our circuit. Okay, so the last few moments of preparation before the race gets underway. Let's run you through the grid then. It is Shadman Sabik, the driver who made a late charge to find himself third by the time the flag came out. He won on the grid. Alongside, it is Sultan, who, well, ended up taking the checkered flag first when it came to Barcelona. Omar finds himself P3, so it is basically the same top 3 as we came over the line in terms of Barcelona's race. Abdullah Ayaz is P4. Those are your first 2 rows on the grid. In P5 it is Zayan Intaz, and he will be joined alongside by Zohaib Hussein, 6th, for the number 99 Ferrari car that you can see right now. Directly behind them, it is going to be Sombit Duran. And Sombit Duran is, of course, going to be hoping to try and just move forward from that 7th position. Let's see what they are able to do. Ishraq Rahman next up. They are P8. Ali Arman in 9th. And then it is Tamim Nasser, who starts 10th in that McLaren GT3 machine. Zubayr Zaman, P11. Abir Ahmed, P12. Then it is Sayem Rahman, who is 13th. And Mushfiq Yasser, who is in 14th in that Aston Martin car. Let's continue running down the order with Ahmed alongside Nabi Nirad, who's in that 666 Ferrari. And then Ashfika Rahman is 17th. And in the McLaren, behind is Sajed Junaid. Next up, it is Tanzila Mabub. And then the final car in position is going to be Mohammed Rahman, who will go from 20th in position. Okay. 45 minutes of racing about to come your way. These are very much nervy moments before we get racing. The final moments of preparation are now. Here is Abdullah Ayaz. Let's see whether they can move forward from third on the grid. But it's going to be Sultan, who will be P2. And then Shadman Sadiq, who will be P1. Right, we've run you through the grid. We've gone through qualifying. And now the main event is what lies ahead. 45 minutes of racing around Le Castellet. Who is going to come out on top? It is time to go racing in France for the first of two races that are going to be coming your way. They're all backing up. They're all heading into 2x2 formation. And for only the second time in the Slipstream Esports tournament, the time to race is now. The two on the front row, all set and ready to get going. Who's going to come out on top? Who is going to take victory and put themselves possibly in the lead of the championship by the end of today? There is not long in this championship. You've got to perform at every moment, and one of the moments is now. We're underway and racing for the second time this season, and we find ourselves with Sultan holding the lead down into turn 1, Shadman Sadiq P2, and then Abdullah Ayaz in third. Much more well behaved for the top three, unlike 1 week ago. Let's take a look further back and make their way through. Can they make their way through further back? It is Zayan Intaz, P5. He's looking close to an overtake, but we are right now seeing the field calmly navigate their way through, and after the chaos of last time, they are much more well behaved here in Le Castellet. 45 minutes on the clock. This is the opening tour of racing, and it is Tamjid bin Sultan. He won by 7/10 of a second on the opening lap of the race. Let's take a look to see who can make some overtake. They're already trying to break the toe and getting super tight, getting super close. There is going to be Ayaz. Is Ayaz looking for the move? It appears like he is, and it can be a very, very long slipstream battle, and Ayaz is ahead. Abdullah Ayaz moves up to second place, so a bit of a switch that's come in, and with such a long straight, it means they're all over each other when they make their way through. Now into Scene Corner. That's another look. That's another move. And that is Ayaz, who moved up to second and now drops to fourth in a couple of meters. Shadman Sadiq retakes his position. Then it is Zohaib Hussain. Bin Sultan is trying to move forward up. And dropping down the order is Sombit Jaban. Was that contact, I wonder, with Ishraq Rahman, who is also being noted. As we make our way through into the end of the lap. Oh, it's a melee contact. Contact made, and it's Zohaib Hussain who goes spinning. And the driver who was momentarily second now will fall all the way to the back of the field, and it's not the race start that they would have wanted. Cars all over the road, and the chaos that we mentioned had striked in Barcelona. It took a bit more longer for it to strike today, but it did end up striking. And they definitely, the aggression levels and the confidence that we can see or possibly the lack of, to some degree as well. You can tell that we've had a round, and now the drivers are beginning to experiment. Now they're beginning to push a bit more. They've got one round underneath them. There's no time to, you know, be chill about it and be calm heading into this tournament. 6 races only. By the time tomorrow is complete, you've done half the races. That is done. Half the races of the season are done. And you know, we only literally just began 1 week ago. That is how quickly it really goes. And it means you've got to perform at every single moment. No chicane and such a long straight means there is plenty of time for you to try and get close and close and close with the toe. But it's not proving enough at the moment for Abir Ahmad. Can he close in into the braking zone? Good speed carried. And I think he's going to get his reward on the inside. No. Well defended by Ali Arman. But we are seeing Abir Ahmad looking out, try and experiment a bit in terms of racing lines. Where can he place the car? Where can he find himself through? Let's get on the power, and you can see Abir Ahmad is flashing the headlights. Get on with it, he's saying, and he is waiting for the opportunity. Into the final corner, is there one? He'll take a wide line, and then better traction off the corner. Can he now try and make a move? It doesn't appear like he's got the purchase when it comes to off the corner, and then he doesn't have the slipstream. He doesn't have, well, he does have the slipstream, he doesn't have enough speed. He doesn't have the overspeed to make his way by. That's the difference, and that is why he's having to do most of the magic under braking. But the thing is, it's single file usually when you're going through the braking zones, and unless you outbrake your rival, it is a different story. But this time around, he has got the better traction. This time around, he has got the inside line, and this time around, he has got P5. Moving ahead is Abir Ahmad, and Ali Arman now is on the back foot and has to look in their mirrors because Zubair Zaman is also there, and contact made between the pair of them. Ali Arman, with a tough couple of corners, will find themselves not pointing in the right direction and now dropping down as well. Dramatic start to this lap for them. Let's take a look and focus now on Hussein, who is trying to now recover those 3 positions that he has lost. Drawing alongside. It is only 6/10 in it. It was 4/10 a few moments ago, by the way, for the lead. But we're focusing on this battle because it is quite literally door to door, wheel to wheel, and into seeing corners. Hussein gets ahead, but that is such late speed carried. Greater momentum on the outside line. And Ishraq Rahman fights back all the way around the outside. Hussein won't be happy with that. He'll want to try fight it straight back. And it appears like he is. Straight through for the next corner, and they're still going at it. What a fantastic fight this is turning into. And now this time out wide goes Ishraq Rahman. Can they try and defend it? Just about. And Zohaib Hussein has got the possession of P8. Hussein P9, but they're still looking for room, and it's only 3/10 in it for the lead as well. So while this battle is close, it is super tight at the front of the field for P1 in the race as they make their way by into the first turn. Good exit off the corner. Zohaib Hussein, can he try and get to the inside? Let's see whether the chance is there. Backs out. I'd say a sensible decision to be fair, because you don't really want to end up ramming and hitting the side of your rival. Make our way onto the Mistral straight. And Hussein is roaring by on Ishraq Rahman in a drag race. The drag race that Hussein wins. They move up to P8. It's also very close, just ahead in this, just ahead of this battle. You can see top of screen momentarily. the other Rahman. This time, Sam Rahman was looking for it. Up against Zubair Rahman. Zamans, I should say. In P6. So that's an interesting battle that is beginning to develop. Meanwhile, we've got Omar with possible contact. I just saw him dropping down the orders. A bollard has been sent absolutely flying into the air. Not ideal one bit, is it? But let's see the switch in position come in. So, Sam Rahman is ahead of Zubair Zaman. And here comes Zahib Hussain. And that's a nice and tidy move as well. Asta moving up. Don't think he'll be the only one. They're still going for it. Behind. The lead is, by the way, only separated by 0.2 of a second. And it's why we're focusing on the battle now. It's the first time after lap 1 this season that we're going to see the two leaders wheel to wheel. And it is going to be the lead for Shadman Sadiq. Switchback applied. Sultan fights straight back on the inside line. And he's retaken P1 in the contest. Can he now try and come back with better traction? Shadman Sadiq looks to the outside. Can he try sell the dummy? Great racing this in the early stages. Really fantastic to watch, and that will surely be a compromise line. And the position retaken. Shadman Sadiq back to the lead once again. Sultan places it on the outside once more. Can he get the car rotated in time to turn this into a drag race? But we have seen a switch in position between the leaders come in. And look at Abdullah Ayaz further back. He's waiting, quite literally waiting for the chance to get involved in the mix. We're taking a look also at some of the other battling going on, because of course there's a lot more than just a duel for the win at the moment. As Fikar Rahman. Just getting past Omar, who's coming into the pit lane. Let's take a look at a replay then of what has been going on further in the field, and that is a nice and tidy overtake until it was contact. Until it was contact there. So contact between two drivers you've just seen in your picture as they went straight on. Couldn't quite identify who that was specifically. So we continue on. Over 10 minutes of racing has been complete. And only 34 minutes remain and lie ahead. Okay, time for another replay then, as we take a look for you. There has been quite a bit of contact and drivers getting a little bit too close for comfort with each other. And that, to be fair, was just a wild switch in position. And then a synchronized spin. Two cars going round. Things beginning to settle in just a little bit. So it's a perfect time to, well, spam you with replays at the moment. And show you everything that you may have missed from this so far. This is the racing corner. Very easy for a car to lose it. And then, oh, we had a whole conversation about this at Barcelona. About a car losing it in the middle of the road. And other drivers not having time to react. Do not worry, though. Do not worry. We're not going to go into the whole same topic and discussion once again as well. I'm sure you all enjoyed it and had enough of it after that one occasion. Slipstream being heavily broken at the front, I have to say, from Shadman Tabik, weaving left and right. And now he, of course, places his car directly on the, well, outside line, the left-hand side from driver's point of view line, because, of course, he's now getting ready for scene corner. But, yeah, lots of weaving to make sure that he's not dishing out any Slipstream and just to annoy Tamjid Sultan and just make sure that he can make the car as wide as possible. Zombie Duran is in P13, but for how much longer is that going to be the case? Duran has lost 6 places from where he started the race, looking to now draw alongside. That is Ashrika Rahman on Sombit Duran. Let's see whether Rahman can try do it the longer round. Surely that's not going to work. Braking early, sending it in on the power, but then a bit of a slide and a twitch. Completely means there is no switch that is going to come in. Oh, that's close. Junaidan Mahbub, P15 and P16. So we take a look at Sayam Rahman in P8. Chasing down Ishraq Rahman. So that's the battle that is going on between the pair of them. Great sounds of the cars as they blast past our camera. And now we look to try and spot the overtake. We look to try and see the overtake. All the way around the outside is possible if you've got a full car length in there. Oh, it's close, really close between the two Rahmans, and it is Ishraq who exits ahead and is now in P7. And you've got NASA waiting too, and Ishraq Rahman's running deep, and it's going to give the chance for now him to come back under pressure by Sayam Rahman, and then NASA P9. The gap is now 1.3 seconds at the front of the field. Into the first turn. Let's listen into the revs as they rise. Great to hear. As now we see different racing lines being taken, hoping for the better exit, and that was quite the exit. And it's the place for NASA, up to 8th. But of course there's going to be a chance to fight back. Wasim Rahman. And they're going to do the battle in a straight line now, as they run wheel to wheel. About to climb up all the way down to scene corner, and it's resolved before then. Wasim Rahman gets back ahead, and we're back to formation flying and how it was a few moments ago. Still fighting going on and on and on. What a great fight this is. To watch and to see. Further back, we have Sombit Duran, who is defending from Nirad. Nirad was sliding all over the place. Let's go back over. Enjoying this battle now live. It's not as close as it was a few moments ago. What are we going to see here then? As they make their way by, we were battling as we entered the Mistral Strait, and oh my goodness me. More contact, and it is Mahbub who was the one involved, who got tapped around that time by an... Oh, I thought we were heading to a bit more contact. That was really deep for Sayam Rahman, with Nasser now ahead and in 8th. And with a 1.7 second gap to the driver ahead of Ishraq Rahman. "26 minutes to go." Abdullah Ayaz is who you're watching right now, as he looks to try and get close to Sultan, who's in 2nd, who in turn is trying to get close as well to Shadman Sabiq. Drivers now make their way by and look to try and do so. In one piece. A few drivers have had contact, and that is why they are much more down the order than they would have wanted, as you can see. Okay, Abdullah Ayaz has closed in, by the way, so surely there's been a mistake by Sultan. A few things going on the circuit, including what you're about to possibly see, a switch in a few moments between Rahman and Zubair Zaman, but this battle is really closing in. Surely a mistake or something has gone on for Sultan in P2, which is why he's finding himself under pressure now in his Audi car. But he's just trying to keep the gap at 1 second so he can keep out of harm's way. Into T1. And Zubair Zaman looking to try and make his overtake to get into 9th. And there's the moment the place will change. He's taken it. Meanwhile, it's super close as well for P2. Very, very close. Abdullah Ayaz is roaring his way by as he moves up to second place. And he's got past Sultan. So that's a move that has come in for P2 in the order. We join this battle now live. And Sultan, who was the car ahead, no longer the case. And while that battle was going on, another one has also seen a switch higher up the order. And Abdullah Ayaz now running in second place. Sultan in third. And it has not gone his way after having the lead earlier on to now finding himself third. These two 4.5 seconds off the pace anyway, but now they're going to battle amongst themselves off the corner. Is there a chance for Sultan to come back? Let's jump on board. Sends it into turn one. Nice braking. Looks to carry the speed in now. We head down towards the conclusion of the opening sector on the circuit. As you navigate your way by and get ready to hit the throttle about now. See what is possible. Meanwhile, this was Narad. What happened here? Oh, he's going to get slowed up and he's going to actually run into the back of another car. Can't quite identify who that is. Yes, that was Narad there that you were just watching with the moment. We look back over. Sultan looking to remain with Ayaz. "20 minutes to go then on the clock. Here is Sayam Rahman. Running, well, very deep, we have to say. Sliding away is Rahman. Through now this end of the lap. .6 seconds is the margin. Sohaib Hussain, 9/10 off, the driver ahead of Abir Ahmad. Abir, who has got just over half a second of an advantage to the car behind, but I don't think that's going to be for long because Hussain is closing. Getting closer and closer and closer, tucked directly in the toe. Is he going to pull out and make this move? He's come from half a second behind to being alongside, and it appears like I can say being ahead. He's going to definitely be ahead because that line will not work for Abir Ahmad, who will be in deep and will run in wide. And then will find himself now in behind, giving chase. "17 minutes and just under now 50 seconds on the clock remains." You're watching the second race of the Somber Esports of the Slipstream Esports Championship, I should say, which has everything provided by Sombit for us to be able to go racing. And also, of course, with the assistance and the help of our broadcast partners, Assettocorsacompetizione Esports, and our trophy sponsor too, Grand Crest Paradox Gaming. This is race 2 of 6 that you will see this season. It is round number 2. Round 2, which will continue tomorrow at Paul Ricard. We won't be broadcasting that, but it will be a race that will be taking place. Zandvoort will be our next one. We'll have myself in the commentary box with these lovely pictures ahead of you. And then the first race at Spa, race round number 5 will be. Race 5 of the season, I should say, will be round number 4. That'll be not broadcasted, but then the finale will, as we will look ready to crown our champion, our tournament champion of not just, of course, the drivers who you are seeing right now running at the front. That is the Pro class, but the Pro-Am and the Am class too. A lot to look forward to, but for the moment, what you can look forward to in these final 16 minutes is plenty of wheel-to-wheel racing, and you're just watching some of that right now. We're seeing some wheel-to-wheel go on between Sayam Rahman, who is ahead of Zubair Zaman. Good speed being carried through right now. You're all right now as a driver just searching for which lines work, which lines aren't working. What can you do, especially for the drivers who've been stuck behind for quite a while now. It's going to be getting annoying. It's going to be becoming a major annoyance. So you'd want to at least do something. You'd want to try something different. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here from Zubair Zaman. Makes it a drag race. Pulls alongside. And now it is wheel to wheel as they come over the start-finish line. And it is a switch in position. Zubair Zaman gets past in his McLaren car. But coming straight back is Sayam Rahman as we head down into the first turn. And he is going to retake 9th. So it is pass and repass here in the Slipstream Esports Championship, a battle that is continuing on and on and on. And Sayam Rahman lives to fight another day and will look to continue defending for as long as humanly possible, really. What a great fight. Okay, this is Mahir Ahmad then. Let's see what has gone on here. They're gonna find themselves getting on the power, making a late dive bomb, and contact made. Ashrika Rahman has just lost a position, by the way. That's just gone on a couple of seconds ago as we were looking at that replay. Still super close running. This is now a different battle you're focusing on. You've got Omar ahead of Ashrika Rahman. Oh! Off the road. Zubair Zaman was off the road. This is Summit Duran, who's rapidly gaining. Rapidly, I have to say. I looked at the gap a few moments ago, and it is transformed and it has changed so quickly. And now it's only 0.8 of a second. I expect this to be a done deal with the amount he's gained. Don't know what's happened to Ali Arman, but I guess we'll find out together. Looks like they're running up to proper speed, so was it just an error? It came down massively, like it was looking like Zombie had a major advantage, but then that kind of advantage, you know, just kind of went away. Oh, he's gonna go wide. He's gonna go wide, and well, we're not gonna see the switch in position come in. It's Zombie Javan who gets ahead, but Ali Arman comes fighting back down the inside and retakes the position. Might have made that error, but now comes charging back with 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and Zombie Duran will have to make this move on the circuit. Back to basically square zero in that battle. Into the pit lane has come Abir Ahmad from 8th position. So he drops down our timing board. Running very closely, aren't we, in this battle? Into the braking zone. .2 seconds by the way at the front of the field. Just letting you listen and enjoy some of these car sounds at the moment of these GT3 machines blasting down a very long restore straight with the configuration of circuit that we're using. And it sometimes means that cars have to run wide in the way that you're seeing in the background. Oh, Ali Arman all over the road, isn't he? At the moment. Let's see whether we're going to get any type of move. And T1. Ali Arman also getting close to Abir Ahmad, so they're all very close together. There goes Zombie Duran, he's on the curb. It's not an ideal position to be in. Would have been very bumpy as he tries to find his way by and can't find his way by. Bit of contact made at the apex with Ali Arman, and this is allowing Abir Ahmad to go further up the road as these two continue scrapping away. He hit me straw straight now, and this is a battle that is going on and on and on. Eight tenths, not close enough, is it? So, Zombie Dawam has lost 4 places from where he started the contest, but biggest loser, of course, from this race in terms of positions lost has to be Omar. They've dropped down and down and down, and they find themselves all the way down in P13. And that's 10 places from where they began, as we got our 2x2 rolling start going to get the second race out of 6 underway. Zombie Dawam. There we go. The move finally being made. Down the inside. Ali Arman fights it back on the apex. They are side by side. Great fighting this between the pair of them. They continue on their scrap now. We're heading into Mistral Strait, and Zombie Dawam has got ahead. Can Ali Arman try come back? Slightly wide as we hit the Mistral Strait now. And they will be trying to break the toe. Deep in the slipstream. It's Ali Arman. 4 tenths. 3 tenths. Getting to 2 tenths. Getting super tight now in this phase. Which way is it going to be, left or right? It's going to be, well, to the right hand side with the view that we're now watching. And it's going to be a battle now into sitting corner. Oh, it's super tight, and that will be off the road, and Zombie Dawam cannot fight their way by. Ali Arman slides all over the place. And there we go, he's running slightly wide. He's twitched. He's had a slide. Zombie Dawam runs round the outside. Now looking to try and get the up and under. They're putting on the blinkers, the headlights, they're putting on everything in this battle. Because it really is just that intense. On the brakes we go. Ali Arman loses it. And Zombie Dawam has to cut the chicane basically to try and get there. To try and get to the place. Of course he couldn't do so. Ali Arman is parking the bus at the moment. Not letting Zombie Dawam have that place at all. We've got 5 minutes to go to resolve the only battle. Omar's closing in further back as well on Zaman, but this is the only battle that is actively properly going on the circuit that is super close, and Zombie Dawam gets ahead. Zombie Dawam finally makes the move, but of course Ali Arman's going to fight it on the brakes, but he's surely not made the corner. Where on earth is he? Is he there? He's behind. He had to cut over the chicane, and he's rejoined behind, and he won't be back ahead of Zombie Dawam, who will be feeling a sigh of relief in all emotions right now, as he's cleared Ali Arman. But yeah, it was very clear that they were not going to be making the corner, and we saw they went deep. There's a question of, where did they go? We don't know the answer, we won't find out the answer, but all we know is they're 1.4 seconds back now. Okay, let's now join another battle. This is Omar having a tough round compared to Barcelona 1 week ago. What a contrast the week makes. This time it's only improving to 12th place, but at least there is some positives to take. You've always got to look at the positives, but you do have to work on the negatives too, because it's a championship which progresses very quickly. There is no time to be too relaxed and to completely ignore what has gone wrong in rounds. What's gone well, you absolutely take and continue to build upon that into future races too. Three minutes on the clock to go. Okay. Final moments of racing now. Final moments of seeing the battling unfold. That's just the lap car, by the way, that we're going past with Zubair Zaman. So Hussein is trying to get close to Zayan Intaz. That's the battle going on for P4 and P5. Meanwhile, Nirad's lost out of position by the back. That's what we momentarily cut to, but now we're focusing on the closest running battle. And yeah, the only battle that's actually being highlighted yellow on our timing board at the moment because of it's inside 2 seconds, and it is within striking range. We make our way through in towards the first sector's ending, well, now, pretty much. We're very nearly into the race ending. We've got less time remaining on the clock than a lap time in these GT3 cars here at Le Castellet. And look at this. Zayan Intaz looking to try and defend the pressure of Zohaib Hussein. We are in the final stages. This is a battle for 4th position. Can Zohaib Hussein make a move? Can they try and pull out alongside and go for it to the inside? That is really close to contact at major speed. And it was a large look. They're trying to be large in the mirrors, trying to get to the inside line and finding the route by. Zohaib Hussein improves up to P4, and Intaz is kind of frightened at many moments in the battle, I'm sure, because they would have all of a sudden seen a car coming up the inside and very nearly crashing into them in the mirrors. But Hussein gets their way by. We are on the final tour of the race now. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is the time ticking down, but we will wait. We will, of course, wait for our leaders to come across the line, and that will be the final tour of the race. And what a race it has been from Shadman Sadiq. He may have lost the lead earlier on, but I can assure you, he definitely came charging back. Abdullah Ayaz also with a decent round as well, as they found themselves running up highly and contending near the front. It will be disappointment for Sultan, who was up there and running in P1 at one point, but it will all be eyes at the front of the field. Shadman Sadiq about to bring the car home all the way to the checkered flag. We have only got a couple more corners to go for the driver in the BMW in the number 69 car, navigating their way by through to the final corners of the last lap. And what a moment of celebration this is going to be. It was a very close qualifying. It was a very close race at the start, but Shadman Sadiq got the lead, pulled away, and now gets his reward as he will send it over the line, weaving to victory in Le Castellet. Shadman Sadiq wins in France. Abdullah Ayaz second place, and it will be Sultan who will complete the podium in third. And they've got still a couple more meters to go until that is the case, but they'll be getting there, and that'll be our podium. Over the line, and Sultan P3, and Hussein and Intaz battled late into the final stages, but in the background they will be home, 4th and 5th in that order, and then Ishraq Rahman in P6. In a few moments, there they are, the final drivers making their way over the line. We've also seen Ashfaq Rahman P14 over the line, Nirad's come over the line, Yasser's come over the line, so those are a few more drivers that have sent it through. Nasser is P7. Sayam Rahman is P8. Abir Ahmad is P9. Or will be P9. Very, very shortly. And then 10th position will go to Sombit Duran, who, well, had to wait a long time to get that overtake done. Ali Arman, who comes over the line in 11th, put in the defence very, very hard. It's a bit of a disappointing result, I'm sure, for Omar, after the very high running last time out in Spain. And France, it has not been to anywhere near the same extent. So just getting the final few drivers over the line then. Here is map up, P15. And I think we only got one more driver, and here they are. Junaid to come across the line. And they will see the flag in P16. Everyone else has already taken it. Interesting contest then. An interesting race. As we get to, well, what appears to be drivers just having a bit of fun now at the end of a race. Why shouldn't you though? You've had 45 minutes of high discipline racing, of running at such an elite level. Any mistakes get punished. And, you know, they all went for it. They all did absolutely brilliantly. Okay. Well, thank you very much to everyone who has joined us. We've, of course, shown you the race as it has taken place. That was our first race in France. We've got one more coming your way tomorrow. It will not be broadcasted, but there will be a race taking place. We will be back when it comes to Zandvoort, though, and I'm sure we'll have all of the updates and all of the information from what happened at Paul Ricard for tomorrow's third race of the season. But that brings a close to tonight's action. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you for the next race of Slipstream Esports in a week's time at Zandvoort. Goodbye.